it's either that or you upgrade the watch. Don't tell my wife I said that. I probably would get in a lot of trouble if I tried that. But there is a watch that Coros makes that... All right, so it is December 8th, 2020, and I'm just out here tonight about 4:30. It's already getting dark. Gotta love the Midwest. But I'm out here to get a little running in and just keep going and just see what we can do here. Probably just a few miles tonight, so let's see how it goes. All right, everybody, what's up? This is Dan, the Ultra Dad. Hope you enjoyed my workout tonight. It was a little bit boring. I know there wasn't a whole lot of footage. My battery died on me, so something I have to get used to with the colder weather. So I'll try to charge it up better next time, but you get the picture. Right now it's in December in Ohio, and there's a lot of gloomy runs out here. Not my favorite part about the Midwest this time of year. Very little light, so the sun goes down right about 5:15, I'd say 5:30, something like that. So not a whole lot of time after work to get a run in, but doing my best, trying my hardest to try to stay on track. So tonight I just wanted to share with you something. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little mini series here about things that went really well and things that didn't go so well with my Mohican 100 run. I'm kind of dissecting that race. It was my first 100-mile finish, and a lot happened during that 31 hours. So I thought I might take some videos here and some time to go through a few things, kind of maybe just for my benefit, and hopefully it helps some other people too. But I like to remember these things as I go forward with my future races. So the thing I want to talk about tonight is my Coros Apex watch, GPS watch. I've done a review on this. I'll put it in the description above, or the link up here in the corner. So definitely check it out. It's a pretty detailed review about this watch. But the Coros Apex is a great watch. The biggest positive is its battery life, but I want to talk about that a little bit. During the Mohican 100 miler, I had pretty much, I believed that I was going to be able to get through the entire race on one battery. Unfortunately, that was not the case. It almost made it. I got to about 105 miles, and I finished at 108 miles. So because if you saw that video, again, click the link to watch that video. But I got lost, and I was delayed by about 6-7 miles. So it would have been fine if I would have followed the correct route and not gotten lost. So that's the good news. The bad news is at 105 miles, about 4 miles before the finish, it died on me. So I think it would not have. I think the problem was I had both the navigation feature and the GPS tracking activity feature going at the same time. And I knew going into it, I wasn't sure how much that would deplete the battery, but I think it did indeed affect it, and I think it ran the battery down more than it would have if I would have just had an activity going, for example. And it turned out probably that's all I needed, because the navigation feature didn't help me a whole lot. I still got lost, but I do think that it certainly ran the battery down faster having both of those features going at the same time. So what can I learn from that? I think if I'm in a race that's extremely well marked and I'm not concerned about getting lost, I think I just won't do the navigation feature. In this race, I thought that would be the case, and it was. It really was. I mean, the Mohican 100 was very well marked. Nothing against the race directors. They did an amazing job this year. But there was one turn that I missed, and the navigation feature wouldn't have helped me. So I think there are some races, like I've done the Fat Dog 120 in the past. I would definitely want the navigation feature active as well as the activity feature. And maybe we should just discuss what the difference is. So the navigation feature is a breadcrumb map. You can upload a GPX file to the watch, and you can follow a track to make sure that you're not making wrong turns, to make sure you're going the right direction. The reason it didn't work in the Mohican 100 is the turn that I missed was so slight that I don't think it picked up the fact that I was off track. And in fact, what I did was I went back on a loop that I'd already completed. So I think I kind of tricked the watch into thinking that I wasn't making a wrong turn. That shouldn't have happened, but I could see how that would happen because that loop was something that was on the path. Now, if I was out in the wilderness, like the northern Cascades, up where Fat Dog was in Canada, if I made a wrong turn and I was no longer on the trail I was supposed to be, I think it would have alerted me. And I've actually tested that, and it does work pretty well. So that breadcrumb feature will alert you if you go off track, and you can upload a GPX file of a predetermined route for a race. And a lot of races most races now will put those out that you can download. So it's a really great feature, but the problem is that navigation feature takes up battery life to follow that. And then if you're also tracking all the other dynamics of the run, all the other statistics you can track through the activity feature, if you're combining those, then I believe that it does deplete the battery life a bit faster than if you just choose one or the other. So, and of course I want the activity tracker because it gives me my pace, gives me my heart rate, gives me my ascent and descent. So that's very important to have that as well. But I think in the end it killed my battery life, and unfortunately didn't capture the entire race. So going forward, like I said, if I'm going to be in a race that's way out there in the middle of nowhere, like in Canada, then no offense to Canada, but just has beautiful wilderness up there. If I do, well, sorry about that. I'm getting a call. I love these telemarketers, random phone calls. Gotta love that, right? There's gotta be a way to fix that. I don't know. It just seems like it's gotten worse. Does anyone else agree? It's gotten much worse. So I think in the future, I'm going to do it on a race-by-race basis. I think if I go out into the wilderness, out into Canada, or out into somewhere in the middle of nowhere again, I will simply bring a battery, and I will need to charge it a little bit. It's either that or you upgrade the watch. Don't tell my wife I said that. I'd probably get in a lot of trouble if I tried that. But there is a watch that Coros makes that would certainly cover the battery life, and I would have no battery problems whatsoever. The Vertex. It's their biggest watch. It's a lot more bulky physically, and it has a lot more battery in it. And it certainly would cover probably up to 50 or 60 hours. So that's a possibility. Don't tempt me. Okay, let's change the subject before I get too off track here. But the Vertex is a pretty neat watch. But then again, this is the Apex, and they do make an Apex Pro as well. So that's another option for someone out there. It also offers a little bit more battery life. And there is one other option. I know I'm going off on a tangent here, but you can do I believe it's called the Ultramax feature. The problem with Ultramax, and that would give me plenty of battery life. I mean, I think it would gives you up to 100 hours, I think, of GPS tracking. The problem is it samples your GPS route on a much more gradual basis. So the time frames are, instead of every second or every couple, I think it's every second with the normal GPS mode. It samples your GPS location. I think it's once every minute or two. So it definitely, can impact the accuracy of the GPS monitoring of the GPS watch. So, but Ultramax is an option, and that would certainly lengthen the life of my battery. And I don't know. I'd have to try that out and test it to see how accurate or inaccurate it is. So, if I'm going to be out in the middle of nowhere, in that kind of race, I think I would either do Ultramax or bring a battery. If I'm going to so I can use both the activity tracking and I can use the the navigation GPS tracking. If I'm going to do a race where I know it's going to be very well marked, or a loop race where I know, it's going to be pretty easy to follow, I think I'll stick to the activity tracking. So I think that's what I'm going to do moving forward. I hope this was helpful for someone, but it was definitely a lesson that I learned during the race. I still was very impressed that it made it 105 miles, so that's pretty amazing. 31 hours and 29 minutes, I think, was my final time. And that was one battery, one charge on the watch. I didn't charge it at all during the race. So that was pretty impressive, and I give Coros major props for just really figuring something out here with the battery life. So hope this was helpful for someone. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. I'm hoping to get more videos out, especially during the winter here when I don't have a whole lot else to do. So hope you enjoy it and hope it's useful. Like I said, subscribe if you can, like or comment on the video. I'd love to hear your opinions and your thoughts on Coros watches or anything about running in general. And we will catch up with you in the next one.